welcome to Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever with me, Jemma Bayley. I am here reviewing everything ever for you. I'm in a good mood. A few of you have been reviewing the podcast. With your permission, I would like to read some of them out. So, jumped onto Apple Podcast reviews, and people have been giving me 5-star reviews from Citizen Loud that says, yeah, it's a nice podcast, all right. Really gets the job done. Wouldn't take it back to the shop. Would probably buy 2 or 3 at Bunnings in a single go. That is the best review for something I've ever heard. Go back and get 2 or 3. Stop it. Stop. I love it. Okay, so stop. Stop and shut up. But keep going. I've also had the review from Azula. She's written, she's weird. I like her. 5 stars. You have no idea who, what, where she'll review next. So now I'm intrigued. I'll be listening along to find out. And you will. You are actually getting a review right now. 5 stars. Did you see that coming? No. And it happened. You're welcome. Flamio Hotman. I also got a review from Craig. 5 stars. Thank you, Craig. Love this. Great tips and advice. Very funny. Great fun. Thanks for the AM social tip. Oh, well, I hope you go. It genuinely is a good time. It's weird and fun. Go. Jemma really can review everything ever. 5 stars. This is the review from Karaminti. I am a landscape architect who requires 3-star graded paneling for a job of decorating outside of a bank. I was able to consult Jemma, who reviews everything, and she recommended I went with the double corrugated fiber blend paneling and 6-inch brass support struts and a hybrid finish. This turned out to work well in the urban space. Thank you, Jemma, for reviewing everything ever. I'm really glad that they brought this up because that job, it will stand the test of time, that architect job that I reviewed. And on another very serious note, do not legally follow what I say. The first thing I would like to review, and Jemma, why do you think that you have the what sort of credentials do you have to review Flirting? I don't know. What do you have? The expertise that you clearly have, all the expertise on Flirting to flirt. What are you talking about? I can't even remember. Crazy. That's just a little taste of what's to come. And I usually come multiple times. I'm so sorry. This is gonna get sexy. I should have worn something a little bit more sultry for this. I look more like a high school principal right now. Although if that's your thing, you're welcome. You've tuned in at the right time. I'm going to be talking sexy to you like a high school principal. Do you have a hall pass? Let me just bend over my table and pick up my apple. I don't know actually what principals do. I've just realized they're obviously not teachers. I guess their stuff is more admin based. I'm just gonna call your parents and make sure that you were actually absent from school because we have suspicion that you and a few other students went hooky and to the shops during lunch break. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if they do that either. It's a weird dynamic. Anyway, what are we doing? We're not reviewing principles today. That's a different day. Today we're reviewing Flirting. So Flirting, I personally think you can do with anyone for any purpose at any time. I see Flirting on the same level as banter. Like, banter doesn't have to be sexual. Flirting doesn't have to be sexual. I think that flirting with intent is another game all in itself. But having a little bit of a cheeky back and forth is fun and funny, and I think allowed. I have been known to take it too far. I think it's very funny to be very overtly sexual and flirtatious with people. And I do know that not a lot of people are like that, and it can catch people off guard, mainly men. Because, you know, we all know that when you smile at a man, they think that you're flirting. I say shit that you shouldn't say. And I think they think we're married. We were downstairs, we were having a coffee, and I was sitting there and I was just chatting, and we were both trying these new bubble teas that he brought back from a trip. And then when he gave his mug back to me, he'd drunk. I went, did you drink out of the side? And he goes, oh yeah. And thinking I was going to drink out of the other side. And I just went and licked the side of the cup that he had drunk out of. And he was just like, oh. And I was like, thanks. Like, I thought it was funny. Unfortunately, my confidence has gotten too far in my life, and I start doing, like, you know, the intrusive thoughts thing for people like, oh, I'm crazy. I every now and then let one get through, and I really shouldn't be held accountable. I should be held accountable. What I'm trying to say is, flirting doesn't have. I think I personally don't view flirting as anything. I do also think that there are a lot of people out there who view flirting as a very not important, what's the word? There's a lot of people out there who view flirting as a very serious thing. That freaks me out, because the idea that I have been flirting with intent this entire time is bonkers. But I can see how some people, the way they flirt, because what we do is we actually project our thoughts onto other people. So when I'm like flirting without intent, to a person who flirts only with intent, with contempt. They flirt with contempt. They're like, you're hot, I guess. I haven't thought about it that much, except every night. I can't stop thinking about you. Flirting with contempt is just when you realize that you have a crush and you're not happy about it. You're like, no. Now I see their face and I smile. Oh, God. I gotta stop imagining what our future babies will look like. I don't even want kids. Why do I do that? You do that stupid little game you do when you're in high school where you like count around the circle to figure out what type of house you're gonna have and how many kids and what job he'll have. And it's like, oh my God, you're gonna marry a plumber and have 2 kids and live in a mansion. Got myself into a fair share of sticky situations that way. So I'm learning. And if I've flirted with you, this is a PSA, if I've flirted with you and you have felt like maybe there's something between us, there isn't. Do not ask me out. I will ask you out. Everyone I've ever dated, I have asked out. Okay, so also PSA, if I've asked you out, I absolutely want to go out with you. I'm very direct like that. So be tender with my little heart. Guys, I'm going to give flirting a 5. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. What if I was I don't know. What do you want to give it? We'll give it a 5 out of 5. Flirting's a fun time. I love it. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Yes, 5 stars out of 5 stars. We are reviewing Fiddling. Not fiddling. Is that fiddling? To play the fiddle? Yes, fiddling refers to playing the fiddle. Oh my God. I was going to talk about the fiddling. Oh my God. I'm so glad I looked this up. I was actually going to review fiddling with things, not knowing that so let's review Fiddling. I've seen a bunch of fiddlers. And I think you know what I like about people who fiddle? They dance around, like there's a lot of people, because your top half can't move, but the bottom half can do whatever it wants. It's got a real line dancing like feel to it, because you're like doing that, and they'll move to the music. I love myself a fiddler. Obviously the most famous fiddler, Satan, or the devil. What is the thing? If you beat him in a fiddling contest, you win your soul. Fun fact for if you die and you want to get your soul back. Yes, so let's give fiddling, people who fiddle, that dance here on doing this, the great time. Love it. I'm not going to lie, the naming convention has kind of been tainted. Not by the fiddlers themselves, but by the people who are fiddling. So let's give fiddling. Let's give it 4 stars. It's awesome. I think it's impressive. It's whimsical as shit. Great. Now let's review fiddling, as in people who fiddle, which is most people with who's fiddling. People with ADHD. Who? So I guess like fiddling, I view as closer to fidgeting, and I've noticed that fidget spinners and fidget toys are on the rise. I don't know if that's tied to the dopamine levels or whatever have you, but myself, not a big fiddler. I'm a big hand gesture person. Not grabbing my clothes and stuff like that. On stage, I'll grab what the clothing I'm wearing sometimes, but more as an emphasis or a bit of business on stage, which is an acting term for like doing something while you're talking. But it's pretty conscious. Sometimes it's unconscious. When I did the naked show, I accidentally grabbed my own nipple because I didn't have any clothes on, and I went, oh, it was a weird time. So fiddling, as in fidgeting, we're getting that, 3.5 stars, because it's just something that people do. It's not bothering anyone. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I like to do it sometimes. It's cool. It's not really much of anything, honestly. It's just a thing to do. I would like to review failing. The concept of failure. It is very important that you fail. In fact, I want to almost guarantee that some of us here have done it today. If not right now. No. Failure is probably the only way you get actually better at something. Like, I remember listening to Dave Chappelle talking about the first time he played I think it was Madison Square Gardens. He said that he hadn't bombed up to that point, and it was his first bomb. It was like doing comedy. Like, that's crazy to have been crushing and then do a massive theater and bomb. That's the worst. I couldn't imagine anything worse. I think he was saying it would have been better measured to have failed leading up to that rather than having a big, either way, but that would have been traumatizing. But there's this interesting effect called is it the Daniel Kruger effect? David Kruger? Dunning-Kruger effect, sorry. Which, so there's this interesting effect that when you start doing something, your skill set is like down here and your taste is down here as well. So as you are learning something about something and you are learning to do that, you're kind of progressing at the same time. So you feel like you're good at the thing because you've just learned about it as well. You don't know that much about it. So from the experience you have, you feel like you're doing well. But as you learn, you kind of bottom out and you go, oh, actually, I'm really shit. And then if you keep at it and you improve, your skill set gets higher and higher. And what you've learned about it will plateau, and you'll eventually get higher, right? So there's the Dunning-Kruger effect is basically explaining how novices, when they start out, have such a big ego, and then they bottom out and they realize how incredibly small they are, and then they get better, right? Trying to say, so in failing, you kind of come to the reality of who you are, the perspective of what you actually are. So it's very important, I think, when it comes to failure, to step out of that delusion, because people who are deluded don't think they've ever failed, or they blame other people for their failure. If you can take ownership of your failure and you can improve on yourself and move forward, failure is the best tool you will ever have. There's a lot of motivational speakers on the internet saying how important failure is, and I think that's great that they're out there acknowledging that failure is actually a very good tool. But also, I want to just put out that failure is shit also. It can also just be fucked. And it also can also be fucked and not lead you anywhere. So sometimes you can fail at something. It's your fault and it was a bad time, or it wasn't your fault. Like, that is equally true. Sometimes failure is just shitty. As much as failure can be a fantastic tool and you can move forward from it, it can also just be a shit sandwich. I'm not the opposite of a motivational speaker. I'm just trying to interject the reality that if you are watching a lot of motivational speakers and they've been like, failure is bringing you closer to your dreams, sometimes it is, but sometimes you've just been dealt a bad hand, all right? And don't worry about it. That's my motivational speech. Sometimes bad shit happens. Just try and not think about it. I'd be a terrible motivational speaker. That's it. You come in and I'm sitting there and you talk about your issues and I'm saying it very seriously. I actually look like a therapist right now. They're sitting there, oh yeah. And then they're like, what should I do, doctor? And I go, that happened before. There's $300. Failure can also just be shit. So I'm not going to rate failure super high. I think it is misunderstood. That doesn't mean that failure is good. I think failure is necessary. So we're giving it middle of the road. We're giving it 3 stars. I would like to review Falcons, the bird. I don't know really what the difference between eagles and falcons are. Are eagles falcons? I wanted to review falcons because falconry is the coolest thing I've ever seen, which is the sport of getting a dangerous prey bird and teaching it to like send messages, pick up shit, destroy your enemies. I don't know what is falconry originally for? Let's find out. Falconry was primarily used for hunting. Trained birds of prey, like falcons and hawks, were used to catch wild animals for food and for practice, but was also as a way to demonstrate power and status. That's an interesting business. In my mind, the falcon's getting a little bit of the prey. So like but falcons could just do that by themselves. Why would they team up with a human? Oh yeah, we're mean. My experience with with hawks, I like I've had a lot of experience with hawks. No, I remember when I was a kid, we had chickens in the backyard, which I know are not hawks, all right. I'm aware. No, we got little chicklings and chicks. We got chicks and they were like out in the field, like just running around, because we had acreage, and we had a hawk that came by and ate. That's how we found out we had a hawk in the neighborhood, is that we were like, my mom looked out and there was like one less chick, like, oh, where is that? Then there's another less chick. And then one time she looks out and a hawk has picked one up and gone off, and it's like, oh, and she like ran out and protected all the other chicks. As a kid, I was like horrified that wild birds would do that. I'm like, wow. Because my experience of birds has been chickens, and chickens are like actually no, if you get a bunch of chickies and then one of them becomes a rooster, you don't know. The next time you go down to feed the chickens, you find out one of them's a rooster real fast because it attacks you. That's how you find out there's a rooster. Is one just turns around and attacks you, and your mum are like, oh, they hear me screaming from the back of the yard, oh, looks like we have a rooster. I think if I were back in the day and I got to choose like a guy, like a wolf, or like, because we as humans have paired up with a lot of like animals over the years. Like we had cats catching rats on ships. We had dogs protecting our like families and hunting with us, and we've had falcons, obviously. I think I would go falcon. I love the idea of an aerial attack, like people, and also having a falcon in a place where people are not expecting you to have a falcon. I wonder if anyone ever tried to domesticate a bear. You know, if they did, they didn't succeed. I'm imagining back in the day, people are like domesticating wolves, like, oh yeah, this is great. And then one goes like, yeah, I'm going to domesticate a bear. What happened to Gary? Yeah, it didn't work. It did not work. It's like those people in America. Oh, it's like those people in America, Tiger King, where they have all the tigers, and they're like, yeah, we're domesticated. But they're like, but you have to remember, this is a wild animal. And they get attacked. They get attacked, you know, so maybe I'm not fit to be a falcon mum, you know. I reckon I'm not rigid enough to have a falcon listen to what I have to say. If I had a falcon, it would just be like, what are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know, just hanging out. Do you want to watch some MasterChef? And I think the falcon would just fuck off. You know, they'd be like, this is, I can't respect you. It'd bring me back like a rabbit and I'd be like, oh, there's too many calories in this. And it would just be annoyed at me. It'd be like, I'm out here trying. This is my impression of a falcon. I'm out here trying and you're just not respecting me. Not respecting me. And I'm like, do something fun. Oh, you know what? Getting crows. Now I'm talking about getting familiars. Getting crows and being like, go get me trinkets. That's more my vibe, actually. Maybe I'm not a hawky lady. Maybe I'm not a falcon lady. Maybe I'm more of a, I have a crow and get me trinkets. Just having a bunch of shiny shit. And I think me and crows would bond. We have similar interests. Like, we're cute, but, like, sometimes we can be spooky and we like shiny shit. So falcons, pretty damn cool. Has been used in sports. Is falconry an extreme sport? It should be. That's an extreme thing to do, is to domesticate an animal for a sport. That's extreme. It's crazy. That's years dedication to. If we're talking extreme as in like extremists, people getting an animal and making it domesticated for a sport is extreme. I think falconry should be an extreme sport. We're gonna give falcons, we're gonna give it 4 stars. It's really cool. They're very cool. I would like to review furries. No one's done it yet. No, I don't. So many people have talked about furries. I'm obviously not the first to talk about furries, but here's my 2 cents. If they're not bothering you, much like a snake, leave it alone. Like, they're more scared of you than you are of it. They've all got anxiety. Just don't worry about it. It's weird and it's fine. It's weird and fine in the same way that it exists and there's nothing you can do about it. I remember the first introduction to furries I heard of was actually My Little Pony furries. People who liked My Little Pony so much that they would draw pictures of things they wanted to do to the ponies. It's very hard, but I'm not against that sort of stuff. But I do think that we do need to introduce a little bit of shame around it, because there's this weird thing that happened a while ago where we were like, no one should be kink shamed. Except the people who like to be shamed during kink, they should be shamed. You little bitches. Sorry. I would like to add, you can be shamed if you are doing those behaviors in a space that is public where people have not consented. You can have a disagreement and that is fine, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if you have a fucking weird thing and you go out publicly with that and you're upset that you got shamed for it, it's your fault for making it public. I should know. I've talked about many things on stage and I have been shamed for it, and I'm taking on the chin. Like a champ. I don't think that you should be. I don't think people should be kink shamed if they are in trusting relationships and it's being used to coerce and manipulate and humiliate you. That's not allowed. So should furries be shamed? Yeah, they should be shamed. It's weird, but that's the level of shame it should be at. It shouldn't be at they all need to repent and they all should be killed. No, that's ridiculous. I'm just saying that if you meet a furry and they're like, I'm a furry, and you go, oh, that's interesting, it's a bit weird, but what? And they get defensive. You're like, well, you were the one who told me about it, and I'm telling you, I find it weird. I don't find it. Like, are you sexual with it? Do you want to talk about that? And they're like, no, I don't want to talk about that because I feel like you're going to shame me. And you're like, okay, well, let's not talk about it. Fair call. So furries, yes, I think furries should be a little bit shamed, especially if they're bringing their sexual shit into the public domain. If they are just furries and they're having a fun time with it and they draw the furry pictures that are like cool and like they've got outfits, or there's whole movies that are like look, Robin Hood, need I say more? Or actually Balto. I had a crush on Balto. If no one knows who Balto is, it's this movie of a animated wolf called Balto who saves a town by becoming a sled dog. It's very cute. I had a crush on him, but I think it's because it was just like he was a heroic guy. And the Tramp. I had a big crush on the Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. I have a type. But what? I offer that to you and you can shame me for that and I'd be like, fair. It's fucking weird. But also humans are weird and we're allowed to be like that. I think the extreme fairies with the fursuits, the commitment to making a fursuit, expensive. To a certain extent, I'm like, wow, that's all right, that's cool. And they find their communities and they enjoy that. And I find the costumes impressive. The way they put the eyeballs in so that they sunk in so that when they move, the like eyes follow you. I think that's so it is fascinating, clever, and I have watched a few videos of people making fursuits. However, it's not really it's interesting in the same way that like I will watch a surfer like get ready for their day on a TikTok and I'm like, oh, how fascinating that they get up so early in the morning and they prepare all their shit and they eat this, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go do that, but I find it fascinating. Anyway, comparing surfers to fairies, that's what we do here on Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. And I have known people who are fairies. I know some people who draw furries and do art of furries and explicit art as well. Very normal person, actually, that person. And then I know another person who has a furry bedspread that is naked on one side. And I was like, that is a choice. Also a lovely person, but just like, these people, like they walk among us. Like you wouldn't know. They, on the other side of the bedspread, the furry guy was clothed. So when they had company over they would flip the bedspread so that the furry guy was clothed. But it's funny that they're like, oh well, I better not have my my naked furry waifu on my bedspread naked. I better flip her over and put her clothes on. So furries, like honestly, there's nothing wrong with them, but it is fucking weird. So, furries, it's fine. A little bit of shame. So we're giving you 2 stars. 2 stars for furries. Unfortunately, the loudest people are the ones that ruin it for the group, and furries, your loud guys are the worst guys. And I'm going to do another game. We're doing Fuck, Marry, Kill. And with Fred Flintstone, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. This is hard. Because they're all so sexy. Okay, all right. I'm going to kill Fred Flintstone. He is the cornerstone of the patriarchy. Franklin D. Roosevelt and Fergie. Who am I marrying? Oh God. Yeah. Okay, so I'm fucking Fergie, and I'm going to marry Franklin. And I'm going to call him Frankie, and we're going to churn butter together. I don't know. Actually, for the times, I would probably be churning butter, and he would be practicing speeches on me. Oh, that's a cute little life. All right, that's a cute little life. And I get to fuck Fergie. What a weird life. And I've killed Fred Flintstone in my brain. This has all happened in the same timeline. So I will be reviewing each one of them. Fred Flintstone... 2 stars. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Let's go 4 stars. And Fergie. Let's give Fergie 4 stars as well. These fuck, marry, kills are getting wild. Wild. Okay. So that's the end of the podcast. I'll see you around. Please give me a 5-star rating. Please give me a 5-star rating. It would help. Help me in every avenue of my life. I yum. I eat them 5 stars like a eating thing. And if you have something you want me to review, email in jemmabaileycomedy@gmail.com. I will get to it eventually, of course. And I love you. See you soon.